Hello and welcome back to the Moneymatics podcast. My name is Omobo Bola, and this is the podcast where I talk about all things money, finances, wealth, and I talk about it especially as it concerns you, the African in diaspora. And on today's show, I'm talking to someone I first heard speak at one of the events organized by the Nigerians in diaspora in Sweden, in Stockholm, and I was absolutely impressed by talk that day. So I thought to myself, oh, when I wanted to talk about the topic we're going to be dealing with today, I thought to myself, this is the right person to come and share our views and our knowledge about this topic. So, welcome with me today, Gbemi Oyekon, who is popularly known as the monetization queen. And she's going to explain to us why that is our name. So, Gbemi, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you're joining us today, thank you for joining us. My name is Bemi Oyekon Fasasi. I am a money mindset coach. But first of all, I'd like to introduce myself as a digital marketer, right? So I'm a digital marketer, a money mindset coach, and I specialize in personal brand monetization. And I know that may sound like woo woo, but basically it's simply taking what you know, your knowledge, your skills, your life experiences, and I help people convert all of these into a sole business online that not just transforms lives, but also generates massive recurring revenue with ease. So thank you for having me.
Okay, so I need to see you after this recording, okay? Let's turn this personal brand into some money, money, money. But thank you, Jamie, for being on the show. So you said you're a money mindset coach. On one of the episodes we did, I think it was episode 1 and 2, I was talking about the fact that anything that has to do with money or making money or improving your finances as a person always is mostly about your mindset than maybe just knowledge or investing or things like it's you have to have a mindset that is right. So why is that such an important thing?
So, from my own perspective as a trained money coach, a neurolinguistic practitioner, I'm a master practitioner, brain science expert. I have interest in quantum physics as well, subconscious reprogramming. I like to give the scientific explanation behind why it is important to have a healthy money mindset. But, starting from it all, what is money mindset? It's the way you think about money,
Mm.
the way you feel about money. It's your beliefs about money. It's your perception about money. It's the emotions that governs your relationship with money.
Mm.
And the reason why that is important is that it is the sole determinant of the amount of money you're able to attract in your life and the kind of wealthy experience you get to live in this lifetime.
Mm.
That's it. It's not your knowledge, it's not your skills, it's not your degrees, it's not your exposure. And that's why you see a lot of, illiterate people becoming successful entrepreneurs, right?
Mm.
And then you see a lot of people who are even like business graduates, first class holders, who are still struggling to get a job because they cannot convert what they've learned into money.
Mm.
I define money mindset as the way you think, the way you feel about money, and the beliefs that you have around money.
Mm. That's very important because I remember while growing up, there was this, um, in fact, it was a scripture that people used to quote wrongly. They would say, "Oh, money is evil." Money, like, no, that's wrong. Like, if you think of money as evil, you would never want to have it. Or if you think as money as something that's just a set of people have, you would never want to have it, isn't it? Because you have the wrong set of beliefs about this thing that you actually need.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think a lot of people, misinterpret that particular verse in the Bible, right?
Yeah.
It didn't say money is the root of all evil, if you check. I
Yeah,
think
it's
it's,
the love of money.
yeah, Timothy 1:6-10, right? It's for the love of money is the root of all
All
evil,
evil. Mm.
right? And so when we look at the love of money, it can either be unhealthy or unhealthy.
Mm.
So
That's
people
true.
love money for good, for the greater good, for impact, for purpose,
Mm.
as a form of fulfillment of your purpose.
Mm.
There's no evil there because there cannot be good and evil in the same container.
Mm.
Right?
That's
So,
right.
what the verse is actually referring to is your personal interpretation of money. So, like I like to tell people, I like to tell my coaches, I say, what do you think money is? What does money mean to
To
you?
you.
So
Mm.
this is a question I like to ask. What does money mean to you? Like, so for example, I as an individual, the way I think what money means to me is freedom.
Mm.
I want to
That's
work.
right.
Yeah, I want to work when I want to work. I don't want to work when I don't want to work. If the snow is outside and it's 2 inches, I'm not going anywhere. And I don't want to feel compelled. I don't want to feel like I'm missing out. I don't want to feel that, oh, because I didn't work for 3 weeks, so therefore I cannot take a holiday. Or I have to work a certain amount to take 2 holidays in a year. Or I have to
Mm.
take permission from my bank account before I make a purchase. I don't want that. It causes a constriction in my belly.
Mm.
It makes me sad. I don't want to, be, if I'm going to work, I mean, I've been in corporate before for almost 10 years, but I went in with the intention to understand administrational procedures,
Mm.
how business is run, how corporate is run for system structures processing, that's why I went in. But for me, I knew it from a young age that money means to me freedom.
Mm.
Freedom. So that's my personal interpretation. So let me throw you the question at you. What does money mean to you? When you think money, what do you think it means to you?
I think we are very similar in this because the other time I was doing, I think the first episode I was saying you have to know why you want to make money. And for me, it's because I want to free up my time. Like you're saying, I don't want to feel like if I don't go to work, then I won't eat. I don't want to feel like if I don't work until I'm 65, then I can't retire. Like I want to be able to use my time because I realize that right now, one of the things I do not like the most about having a 9 to 5 is the fact that your time is just that 8 hours in the day that you have to give to your work is such a like it takes away from every other thing you could be doing with your time. So for me, the goal or ultimately the desire to make money or to have wealth, one is to free up time so that I can put it in things that I want, and two, also to be able to maybe help a lot of people. There was something that happened recently and I was like, come on, if I was rich, I know where I would put this money. Like would be a cost that I would put myself behind, and realizing that, oh, you actually don't have that kind of money to be able to make an impact in this situation. It added to my like what money would mean to me. Like there's so many things you could solve, so many problems you could solve if you just had the currency to do it. Yeah. So
So you said it added to the meaning that you give to money. And
yeah.
the minute you became more aware of your definition of money, it's would you agree with me that it would motivate you to make more money because you want.
Oh, the motivation is through the roof. I'm like, no, we can't do this paycheck to paycheck for so long. We need to we need to start making wealth that doesn't, that just is made. It's just there flowing. It has to flow. It cannot be a drip. It cannot be like you open the tap, then you close it, and because you're trying to save the water, it has to be flowing like a river.
Currency. That's why it's called currency. It has to have current, it has to be flowing, right?
Exactly.
And you know
Exactly.
what I said earlier? I said if you don't know what money means to you, you will not be able to control the amount of money you call into your experience. So a
Mm,
lot of us, we just go about living life in a knee-jerk reaction. We go about, we bump our leg, we're like, oh, life happened to me. That's why I lost my standard of living. Oh, life happened to me. That's why I can't give this to my children. We go about reacting to what life puts in our path
mm,
instead of us to define it and say, what does money mean to me? And then use that meaning to be able to take actions based on our education, our jobs, everything, our
mm,
businesses, our way of living, and then command the amount of money that we want in our lives. But usually, I'm going to share with you about 5 meanings that we give to money, because money in itself is nothing. It can
mm,
be paper, as in notes. It can be metal, as in coins.
Mm.
It can be, numbers on a computer screen, as in cryptocurrency. It can be
Mm.
calories. Money is nothing. It's the meaning that we give to the money that adds value and impact into our life, or vice versa. So for
That's true.
me, I identified that money means freedom. For
Mm.
you, you also identified that money means freedom,
Mm.
right?
Yes.
Some people identify that money means safety. And what does
Mm.
safety means? To feel financially safe in your life, to feel secure, to feel like you can pay your bills, like you're not
Mm.
threatened by healthcare if something goes wrong. You know that you are covered and you're going
Mm.
to be okay. And that is one meaning of money.
Mm.
And usually people like this, when money comes into their life, like they get a payment, they get their salaries, or they get a random gift. That's the
Mm.
first thing they do. They will use money to do whatever gives them the feeling of safety.
Mm.
And for some people, the meaning that they give to money is power. And
Mm.
power is feeling like you're in control, like you can sway other people's decisions, like you have
Mm.
power over systems, over institutions, or things like that.
Mm.
It can also be personal empowerment in a more healthy way. So let's say, for example, you feel like, oh, I'm taking care of this area of my life. I'm showing up. I'm running things. Things are not running me, and I'm running it right.
Mm.
That is also power, right? For
Yeah.
example, I have a client who is a board chairman of a bank in Nigeria, and she's a coach,
Mm.
right? And so I asked her, what do you need money for, ma? I don't think more money. And she was like, oh, I want to be able to take such level of decisions. And then I saw that the meaning that she gave to the entire monetization coaching we're doing was power, right?
Mm. Yeah.
So a drive for going for more, for wanting to monetize our own skills and knowledge and our
Mm.
life experience. As
Mm.
for some people, I've got a lot of friends like this, you will love this. The meaning that they give to money is pleasure.
Mm.
When it comes to them, they find themselves shopping, buying fancy things, going to vacations, eating
Mm.
in exotic places, even more frequently than they would normally get used to.
Yeah.
So,
Do you see that a lot in Africans in diaspora?
absolutely, absolutely. And I like to say that for some people, that's the meaning they give to money. But for
Mm.
us, Africans in diaspora, I think many of it comes from the traumatic experience we had with money growing up. First of
Mm.
all, I'm from the western side of Nigeria, the Yoruba tribe, and we kind
Yeah.
of like, yes, we like the good life. We like
Yeah,
the
we
past,
do. We do.
but we are also brought up with the culture of omoluabi. That is, you cannot disrespect someone who is older than you, like an older sibling, just because you're richer. It's
Mm.
frowned upon, it's not accepted, right?
Mm. Mm.
That means that there is something that we value with money, but there's an extreme end to it, right? Which is where you are not encouraged to really love money. You may be seen as materialistic.
Yeah.
So a lot of us growing up, we suppress that side. We
Mm.
suppress it so much. Even as a single girl living with your family and you're matured and single, you're not yet married, and you're making a lot of money, say you're working in a bank or in an oil company, and then you want to buy a
Mm.
car, they're like, no, you're not married, don't you buy this car? Who,
Mm.
who will marry you if you buy this big car? But you want to buy a house. What? What do you want to do with a house as a woman? You should be
Mm.
looking for a husband. All of those things causes negative, traumatic money experiences with money.
Experiences. Mm.
And we don't know. So what happens when we leave for diaspora? And now we don't have, village people's eyes on us. And then we are making money. We want to impress, because all of
Yeah.
those impress.
Because all your life you've not been able to show off in quote this money. And you come to a place where now nobody's looking at you, nobody cares, and then you can actually flaunt it.
And then you start to use money in a way that is not healthy.
Mm.
Right? To the extreme, right? You
Mm.
want to impress people. People even do charity to impress other people. Africans do that a lot.
Yeah,
You send money
that's
back
true.
home. You want to send money back home. You want to build a house for your parents when you know that you are not yet on that level. So
Yeah.
the thing that we give to money actually does influence the amount of money that we attract in our lives.
Okay, so you talked about freedom, you talked about safety, power, both over other people and even like for yourself in terms of self-empowerment. And then you talked about pleasure.
Yes. So now what I was gonna say is this. And this is coming from pure subconscious reprogramming, because if we say we want to change our experience with money, we want to make more money, that means we want to change the way we think about money so that we can
Yeah,
attract more.
that's
And that
true.
means we want to reprogram our subconscious mind, because our subconscious mind is responsible for 97% of our reality. Well, consciousness is just 3%. So if you're not changing
The
your
unconscious.
meaning of money, you're still not going to get a change. So all of these reasons we've spoken about is just the conscious meaning, right? Now,
That's true.
conscious meaning of money, there are six, right? Six subconscious meaning of money. And this is what you find yourself doing with money unconsciously, unknowingly. Unknowingly, and that is how it's going to determine the amount of money that comes into your life. So let's say, for example, let me ask you this. If you received, say, your salary, or your siblings sent you a cash gift for Christmas, what's the first thing you would do with money in your account? Like just money coming into your experience, or your husband gives you a cash gift. What's the first thing you would usually, normally, regularly do with the money? The first spending will be what?
I think for me now is to not do anything with it, to just put it in a savings account and let it sit for a while until I have figured out what I needed to do. And that is something that was very strange to me. Recently, I got let's say a lump sum of money that I wasn't expecting it, but it wasn't anything that I planned for. It wasn't my normal regular income. And I was like, it was almost like I was panicking the fact that I did not have anything I wanted to buy with the money. Like there was nothing I wanted to like, oh yeah, this money has come now. Let me go and do this with it. It was more like I was like, okay, this money is going to go into my savings account and it's going to sit there for a while. And I realized that I have come to the point where I'm leaving what I talk about, right? Don't spend money until you know what you want to do with it. Don't like plan for it if you know it's coming, or don't just start blowing it off just because it came, And yeah, so I think these days, I don't know if that's the answer you're looking for, but these days I would probably sit on it a little bit. If it's money that is unexpected, until I have a plan for that money, is going to sit in a savings account, just making some interest.
That's fantastic, because then the subconscious meaning that you give to money is safety. You see, subconsciously, what you do is that you save it. The first thing, for some people, the first thing they do is to pay their tithe. The first thing
that is almost like a giving. So that's
people, for some people, unexpected sum of money, I am going to the spa. I'm getting a massage. I'm going into the sauna. I'm just going to feel. For some people, it's to go to a lovely restaurant and just have lovely menu and just, be okay. For some people, it is, I'm going to get myself a gift, a bag. Not like they need the bag, but I'm just going to give myself a gift, right?
Yeah, a pat on the back that I deserve this money.
All of these examples that I gave, we're going to break it down. So for you, it's safety. Because when money comes into your experience, what do? You save it. You save it. You may save it for a rainy day. You may save it on a priority budget account. Or whatever you do, you save that money. And we're going to compare your subconscious meaning of money to your conscious meaning of money. Earlier, your conscious meaning of money was freedom.
Yes.
Your subconscious meaning of money is safety. I always tell people, if you look at the way you subconsciously relate with money, that is the way you save money when money comes into your experience, do you think that if you continue that way, one day you will get to the point where you
have wealth?
Freedom. You have freedom. You have to work. If your answer is no, you need to reprogram. If your answer is yes, continue, you are good.
Okay.
You see? So for you, what you do is that you save the money that comes into your experience first.
That's right.
Save the money that comes into your experience first. You control the emotions that goes into that money. You don't decisions based on emotions, on sentiment, or just spontaneity. No, you don't do that. And if you continue like that, you're going to end up using all the money that you kept or you always keep to attain a point where your life is sheer financial freedom. So you are in alignment, right?
Yes.
But what about some people whom, when money comes into their life, right? The first thing that they do, those ones are called variety. They try new things. They book a trip, travel. They like variety. It's very closely linked to the freedom we spoke about in the course meaning.
That's
So
true.
they like variety. Oh, I'm just going to do something, variety. So my question is, no, my point is, if subconsciously, when money comes into your experience, the first thing you do is variety activities, variety things, and you say that your conscious meaning of money is safety. You want to be able to provide for your family. You want to have your own house. You want to have paying your mortgage early. Will you ever get to the point where, or how long will it take you to get to the point of safety?
It will be difficult.
It will be difficult. You see, that's why we need to do a set of reprogramming here. And I'm not saying, oh, change your personality completely, because that's impossible. I'm just saying, to be able to
achieve, you need to do a review, compare your goal with how you're actually living.
Exactly. So the third subconscious need for money is growth, right? So some people, when money comes into their experience, the most likely thing they will do with it, first of all, is to do what? Invest the money right back into the business, invest it into stock, or even into a new business. They are looking to grow what they already have. They're always investing into seminars and courses, things about personal.
I have a friend like that. She can spend any amount of money on personal development. She pays for courses, and I'm like, you paid for that again? She's like, yeah, I need to do this because this means this for me in the next 2 years, and it's just paid off,
Yes. So that's it. They relate to money, by investing in their mental, their emotional, spiritual perspective, anything. They're always wanting to be better. I mean, even be like better health, or like, oh, this wristwatch is going to help me check my blood pressure on the move. So my health needs to be better for my next phase of life. I'm going to buy it. It's 6,000 kronos, right?
That's true.
Do that. Yes. So when you see them investing like that, it's usually for something relating to their next level of abundance. Maybe they want to get a promotion on a job or something. So that is growth. If that is your subconscious motivator, you would find yourself doing these things and growing faster and achieving that abundance you're looking for faster. And for some people, it is contribution. The people whom their subconscious meaning of money is contribution is they use money to invest in projects that makes a difference in other people's lives. To charities. They have different family members that they would help, paying school fees for this widow's child, supporting this women community, giving. They are always giving. When it comes into their hand, they are always giving. Now, if your subconscious meaning of money is contribution, yet your conscious meaning of money is growth, because I worked with a client like that. It was one of the most transformational things I've ever done in my business. A subconscious meaning of money was contribution. In almost every charity in the UK knows her. She's there in one way or the other. And she's not rich. It's not like, oh, she was rich. No, she was just comfortable. But our desire was safety. Like, let me be able to pay my bills without worry. I mean, how are you not able to pay your bills without worry?
But you can contribute to all the charities.
There's something fundamentally misaligned right there. Right? Because if you continue like that, contrary to the popular belief that whatever you give comes back to you, I'm sorry. Karma does not work that way. Karma does not work that way. I don't know who has that belief and is listening here, but it doesn't work that way. If you don't align that, there's going to be trouble. And so, and what we find out, you said something earlier, we spoke about current currency and the energy in money, because money is energy, right? So for some people, when they withhold that amount of money, they cannot hold that energy. It's like holding an electric wire that has a certain watt running through it. It will shock you. Do you understand? You need to let
I
go.
understand.
So some people are contributing not because they want to really help. It's because they are not.
They don't know how to manage a lot of money.
Yes, within them, they are not expanded enough. They don't have the capacity to hold money. And when
so they have to let it go.
They have to let it go. And
wow.
they will find themselves always going back to struggle to pay the next bill.
Wow. You need to pause because that is phenomenal. The fact that, and this I can imagine happens to a lot of people subconsciously, like you're saying, like people don't know how to handle a lot of money. It's like, I don't know, subconsciously they're scared of it, or subconsciously they don't know what to do with it. And so, like you said, they have to let it go. They have to give it away, because they don't know what to do with that amount of money in their hands.
And the amount of have to be high. Do you know that?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I have some people in my life that they are not, they cannot be considered as middle class. They're lower class. But when you send them money or you send them gifts, they would say, oh, I saw my neighbor and they didn't have food. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to share what I have. Then I shared my last piece with them. And to me, they're saying it to me like, oh, I'm so kind. I gave.
Isn't that virtuous though?
But no, it's not. And God doesn't like that, because God also said it, that to whom he has given and does not use it, he will take it away from you. He will take it away from you. Yes. If he blesses you with gold and you don't use it, he will take it away from you. You cannot empower other people if you yourself, you are not steady. And for you to be steady, your container has to be expanded. When you've doubled what God has given you, you can help more people. Even your rappers, you want to do big transformation, you need to be able to turn out big, massive funding. But how can you apply to such levels when you yourself, your container is not expanded enough to hold that energy? So when they give, it's not because it's coming from a charitable intention. It's because their container is not expanded enough to hold that energy. And that is why they are usually broke despite all their charity. And that's why they struggle to pay bills despite all their charity. And they'll say, oh, when I do good comes back to me. It doesn't work that way. God does not operate like that. He has given us the blueprint.
Maybe good will come back, but it will not be money. It may not be money. It might just be good. Money is very physical.
I love to give this example. Madame Teresa is known as is she Madame Teresa, one of the greatest?
Yeah, Mother Teresa.
Mother Teresa.
Yeah.
One of the greatest charity that ever lived. The people that she helped, did they go back and say, oh, Mother Teresa, I want to pay you for helping us? No, she was sponsored by organizations, charities, international charities. And she herself, she knows that is where the fund is coming from. She cannot get the equivalent of the amount of good that she did from those that she helped. It's from sponsors, it's from organizations, it's from corporate social responsibilities. So if you want to be able to attract more, you have to be able to sit with money. You see that thing that comes naturally to you, that when money comes to you, you just keep it and not do anything. It's a big gift that a lot of people do not have. And this is the sole determinant of how much money you call into your experience. Because let's say, okay, you also want to do something that is big, your next level of abundance. Like you said, you wanted to be able to do charity of this level. Your container as well has to expand to the level of that charity you want to do. If not, you will not be able to contain that money when it comes. You see?
That's true.
You won't be able to contain it. And even if it comes, because sometimes it comes by fluke, even if it comes, it will drop away. It will not last. That's why you see some people, they call them that lingua we use in Nigeria. We use the lingua like you just got money. It's not new money, like you just got money. We call it money misroad in Nigeria. Because
that
attribute from them. Like, oh, money lost its way to this person. And all. So let's just round it up.
So you're talking about people's like you can have a conscious desire for money, why you want it, why you need it, and then you can have a subconscious attitude to money that influences your habits and everything. But how can you work on your negative money mindset? How can you change it? What do you need to do to change? If you find that there is a misalignment, you are a freedom person, but you spend money like a pleasure person, how do you work on this negative or misaligned money mindset in terms of your conscious and your subconscious so that they're aligned? What do you need to do? I'm sure you're very curious about the answer to that question. How do you align your subconscious need for money and your subconscious way of spending and your subconscious attitude to money? I'm also curious, so join me next week as we listen to the concluding part of this conversation. And until next time, this is the Moneymatics Podcast.